Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. Thank you to Howie Carpin for filling us in. And there's always more to talk about with Howie. We'll have him back on again. But right now, let's go up to West 238th Street in Riverdale and see An Beal Bocht and their wonderful group art show. We say good evening to Suzanne Hockstein. Nice to see you, Suzanne.
Nice to see
And
you. Thank you.
thank you. And Jordan Moss, my longtime friend, people know him. He was the editor of the Norwood News. Now he is a budding artist and a working artist and a prolific artist. Nice to see you, my friend Jordan.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Suzanne, let's just start with you. An Beal Bocht has done this kind of thing. This is really what a community, I don't want to call it a bar, establishment maybe, should be doing, right? I mean, give artists a chance to
Absolutely.
show. Talk about this particular
Absolutely.
show and putting it together. What was it like?
Well, this particular show is a group show, which we don't do that many of at An Beal Bocht. I'm not actually the booker of the wall, but I assist sometimes. Like if they have a cancellation, I will try to find an artist for them to
Mhm.
utilize. I have great connections like Jordan Moss in the Bronx arts community. And I have traditionally done February myself. That's my month. Usually it's one artist doing the whole month.
Right.
And I have done, well, this February will be my 12th show there.
Wow,
So, but
congratulations.
we had we
And
had a
and thank you for
cancellation.
doing that. We need to promote our artists in the Bronx, and of course, the Bronx is just, for want of a better term, full of it. We really have a lot of
Yes,
great artists. Let's
a lot.
congratulate Catherine M. Donnelly, Allison Choate, Suzanne Hockstein is you, Valerie Deese, Jordan Moss, and Ardina Seward for their work.
Yes.
Um, how do you go about selecting? Is it just calling people you know, or do you look and say, "Hey, do you have anything new?" I mean, how do you go about choosing who gets to be in a show like this?
This particular show, I chose a few people that were, for whatever reason, emotionally or just inventory wise, not prepared to do a full show of their own. And they, oh, no, 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 I couldn't
Ah,
possibly. I saw some of your artwork on Facebook and I was like, you need a month on the wall. Oh, no, 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 I couldn't possibly do that. And so I thought I could kind of come in from the side and get them to do a group show. Oh, no, no, I only need 4 or 5 pieces. It'll be easy, easy. I'll hang it. It'll be nothing. Don't worry. And and I'm hoping that this will lift them up and give them some confidence that they can get that month for themselves.
I think a
I know. Go
what
ahead.
were you going to say? Go ahead.
I was going to say
I
I
was.
know Catherine. I sing with Catherine,
Oh,
and
there you
I
go.
know Allison through the Poor Mouth Theater,
So
and I
you
know
pulled them in.
Jordan,
I
as I mentioned before.
I
Just
think
pull
a
them in.
perfect I think a perfect test to find out if it does help them and spur their inspiration is to ask Jordan Moss. When you're in a show like this and friends like me or others and neighbors come in, does it help? Does it encourage? I mean, is that a good thing for you and your work and being able to create?
Oh, oh yes, that's kind of key I find because everyone's got their own sight and view of what they see and are i- interested in, and they have things to ask. Somebody said to me that it looks like that I look up a lot when I take my photographs. That it's from it's from the ground, looking up high at trees and
Hmm.
buildings and things like that. And that was not a thought that I had, but that is actually, a lot of my work is that way.
So look,
It's interesting.
let's take a look. Let's put up. I know our producer Anderson has some of the work. This to me looked like the Guggenheim Museum. Was I right about that?
Yes, that is right. There's a reflection there that's not there in
Well,
the.
that was because I took a
Right, right,
picture
right.
of
Yeah,
the.
yeah. So that shot was outside the Guggenheim, which I
Mhm.
often take shots inside and outside there whenever I'm there, because just the circular structure there, the unique structure um, with everything
Mhm.
else that's all straight and square and all of that. I just find that really
Anderson, keep
interesting.
going. Let's go because we want to show.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Now, is this up? This looks like a tree.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say.
No, this is just very large plant called elephant ears. And if I didn't have my wife there that day, I don't think that I would know what it was.
There
But it's at Wave Hill, right outside.
you go. Do
And
you
yeah.
do you do things like go to Wave Hill and say, I want to take photographs of today, or you just happen to be there and you say, well, maybe I'll
Yeah,
take.
no, it's like my phone these days. Not that I have a Nikon too, but my iPhone comes with me, of course. Everywhere that I go, and there's almost no place like that, or even in the outdoors, or even on the subway train, that I don't end up seeing stuff that I want to take pictures of. It's just a part of my every day. It's not like I assign myself to go out at a certain time. Uh,
There's
and
one more. We have, I think we have one more that we want to show.
yeah,
Also, there is a reflection there. I did those were my pictures taken of your pictures.
yeah, yeah.
Um, what I do want to ask you about is you've been painting a lot and you've been working in other mediums. At what point do you say to yourself, "Oh, I think I'm going to do photography now"?
Oh, well, I think that, my, photography is less of a planned thing. It's more when I go, when I'm outside and go on trains and to parks and, things like that, just as like a part of my life. Whereas I plan more for my abstract artwork. I do mixed, media artwork, and I do that at a, self-assigned time, like 9 to 12, every day that I can.
Wow.
And
Do you work every day? It can be difficult for artists to do
I
that emotionally and otherwise. But do you get up there and
Yeah,
work every day?
I'd say, the last week or so has been really hard thanks to, the show and the other shows
Blame the
that I'm
show.
in right now, but yes, I do almost, I'd say, 9 out of 10 days in a row,
Wow.
I am up there,
Good for you. And the work shows it. I mean, I've obviously known you a long time and you can see the progression. These four pieces I thought were just spectacular. I love the Guggenheim. I love the elephant ears. You're just doing great. So the idea is you work every day. Do you like wake up and say, I have a plan now today, I'm going to work on this? Or do you kind of get a feel for a day and then decide what you want to do and what you want to create?
Yeah, there's usually 3 or 4 things up there in my attic space there that I'm working on. And sometimes I go back and forth. I'm not sure what to work on. I think too much. I don't do what I want to do. But that's the way it is for for me. The thing that that catches on, that I'm more clear about where I wanted to head with it next. That's the thing that occupies me and takes me along. So it's hard to, like, sometimes I get a lot done, sometimes I don't, but without that step you don't get to the
To the next
second
step.
step.
You know,
You know?
I was walking through Van Cortlandt Park and I
Yeah,
ran into a guy who paints.
yeah,
And when I looked at what he was painting, he was not painting the scene that he sees.
yeah,
And I was like, well, wait a minute. You're standing here and you're looking at like this beautiful trees and this beautiful area,
yeah.
but you're painting something that looks totally different. Told me, I thought this was so interesting. He told me that he likes to just be out there because it allows his mind to just expand. Do you like look for things that give you inspiration? Let's say when you're painting or creating, based on what you see in the beautiful
No,
Bronx,
right, no.
or do you like? I'm always interested in an artist's muse. That's my
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and, like, everyone, I mean, what you said about that man you saw, that's really interesting, but, yeah, no, I find the things really, separate. It's not like I see a tree and I wanna paint a tree. I love to photograph trees and buildings and, graffiti art, in tunnels and things like that. But when I'm, in my attic, that's to do, abstract art. That what
Right.
inspires me are the items that I have that are around me, which are, a lot of used cardboard, like from egg cartons, from fruit cartons,
Oh, right.
from
Leaves, if I remember correctly, I've seen you use leaves and other things like that, things
I
on
not
paper.
not of late, but I have tried that.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
and yeah,
So, I think about two aspects. Let's talk about the photography first. Do you play with the development in that process? A lot of people will add some color, or they will say this one's better in black and white, or do some other lighting things. Do you do a lot of that,
yeah.
or are the things we see pretty much what you saw when you went?
Um, um, you're seeing, the shape that I saw. Sometimes I do edit it down a little bit, um, and color wise, I don't change them, but I do, intensify them at times, and sharpen them. And sometimes I just like them better black and white. And the camera world now, you can do
You
whatever the
can
heck you want.
communicate anything, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you one more question.
sure.
Similar kind of thing for your other work, and I ask a lot of artists this: how do you know you're done? So you keep fixing, you keep fixing, and then at some point, do you say, "Oh, that's it, I'm done," or "All right, I've had it. I'm not going to do this anymore."
Yeah, yeah, there's
How do
some
you
of
know?
both. There's some of both, but, as time goes on, it's, more and more that, I like. I mean, it sounds like, a simplistic thing, but I like what I see. I like what I've done, and, sometimes I spend a little time on that. I leave it aside, and come
And
back
then
to
come
it.
back to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
very interesting.
I sort of might see a new thing. Yeah,
Jordan Moss, and listen, we should mention that Suzanne Hockstein had a Wi-Fi thing, so we couldn't include her in the
yeah.
final
She was
part of your
great,
program
by the way. This wouldn't have occurred without
without her.
her, and, like, she
Listen, it's great
yeah,
having people together. I actually made a really good media contact, which really helped
uh-huh,
at that show. But that's the nature of everybody getting together and
right.
being of a common mind. Congratulations on the ongoing artwork, and we will look forward to whenever and wherever you're showing again. Right now, people can see the group art show at An Beal Bocht Cafe, which is West 238th Street in Riverdale, just I guess that's east of Riverdale Avenue, down the hill
Right.
a little bit.
Well, I can see it
Jordan,
every month,
say
yeah.
say hello to the family, and we'll see you around town.
Thanks so much, thanks so
All
much.
right, folks, that will do it for the Bronx Buzz. We thank Howie Carpin and his wonderful input on baseball, and of course Jordan Moss and Suzanne Hockstein for their great artwork and the work at An Beal Bocht Cafe. And next week we'll be back. We'll see you then. Good night.